Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog. This is a guest moto vlog. We saw this man riding his XR before and now we're going to see it again. This time this video has basically nothing to do with me. I had him upload his footage to my computer and now we're watching it. Let's go on this ride together and see what we can see. Very cool stuff. It's super glitchy right now looking at my screen. Oh my gosh, it's giving me like vertigo. But hopefully for you it's nice and smooth. That would be great. You know, I don't know the names of all these roads that he's riding on, but this is a pretty cool one. It's a little bumpy, bad tarmac. You got to get everything right, you know, in order to make it nice. You got to know the roads. You got to know where it's bumpy. You got to know where the pavement imperfections are, things like that, if you want to go fast safely. And from what I can see, this rider does know that. Mr. XR. Although the GPS have no idea where he is. That's interesting. Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch the whole video like a slideshow that's getting slower and slower. I may just have to. And that's just the way it goes. See, I don't know if I'm gonna keep the voiceover recording or not. It's tough to say. I think it'll be fun for me to voiceover record for the video, but really I'm just gonna be riffing, bouncing ideas off, you know, my YouTube channel, and seeing what sticks and what doesn't. Well, it's all going to stick because I'm not going to edit my voice. I'm just doing a one take, you know, voiceover recording. So now we're coming down to like Route 1, I think. That's pretty cool. Nice visual there. He's pointing his nose, you know, where he wants to go. Very nice. Good to see. Now we're coming up to the intersection here. This is the way it goes. Make a right turn and see a little bit of acceleration. Gonna go crazy on Route 1, like so many bikers would do on a bike like this. Nope. Sensible. Smart riding. Not going crazy, especially over this bridge here. You can see him bounce his car, but the guy's not even going to the speed limit 45. This guy's going like 30. Gotta get around that. You know what I mean? You just gotta get around that. So now we're moving on to our next clip. This is a little bit of parking lot action. He went to a empty parking lot, as you can see, and is practicing his U-turns and stuff. Are they perfect? Yeah, no. But hey, I'll tell you this right now. Compared to me, I don't get out here into the parking lot. I don't practice this stuff as much, so it's good on him for, you know, taking things seriously and trying to practice. Look at all those mushrooms. I think practicing in a parking lot, I mean, is very important. Or at least finding a place to practice at all and improve your riding in a safe way. You know, if you keep pushing your luck out there on the streets more and more, eventually you're going to find the limit and you're going to go beyond it and crash. But if you find your limit here and crash, at the very least you put your bike down, you know, at a low speed, maybe 20 miles an hour or less in a parking lot. Rather than, you know, at 50 or 60 miles an hour going through a turn on like US 33 or something. So I do commend this very much. This is just a little fun here. Just a little fun. The lot is, you know, leads out onto an on-ramp and then leads back onto the lot. Again, I commend this rider for the restraint that he's showing. You know, with a 160 horsepower motorcycle, he could give it the beans and rock it off like along these short straightaways, but he chooses to maintain a safe speed and is riding, you know, sensibly, which is something I really applaud. I think a lot of us could learn from that, rather than just going as fast as we can all the time, you know, whenever there's a chance. Guess I'll take another drink of my beer. I don't have much else to say about this clip. You can see the two-finger braking technique, very nice. Really smooth line. Nothing too crazy. Back up onto the on-ramp again. And now we're off to Clifton. Oh yes, you guys have seen this a ton. Now we're going to watch him do it. And isn't that the way these things go? So while we're going through Clifton, I'm not going to have too much to say. You know, this guy's a pretty sensible rider. He has smooth lines, good brake and throttle control. And what else are you going to do? I mean, he also is the kind of guy who doesn't push it as much as some of us, which is really not a bad thing at all. Maybe it makes the video a little more dull, I guess. To me, that's not that important. You know, a lot of these moto vloggers out here, they get views by making exciting content, which is great and all, but when you're on a motorcycle and you're on public roads, making exciting content almost necessarily means riding at a high level of speed. A high level of speed for the conditions, and perhaps, depending on the rider, a high level of speed for their skill. And the first one's dangerous enough, but when you're riding at a high level of speed for your skill, things get really bad. And we have, you know, moto vloggers all over the place. Maybe not all of our big names, but a lot of smaller guys go down all the time on their motorcycles and get really hurt and even killed out here producing these videos. And that's a weird thing, right? Are they riding their motorcycles just to make the videos and try to gain money from YouTube? If so, they're putting their life on the line to try to make a few bucks, and that's just like a shame. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that, you know, these guys out here making videos on motorcycles do it because they love bikes. If they happen to make a few bucks, well then so be it. But if you're doing something that you wouldn't normally do because you have the camera on your bike, I'm going to say you're being not very smart. You're not being smart on the motorcycle when you do that. Oh, I love this turn. It's one of my favorites in Clifton. And I have to say, that's a smart line. The outside, outside, outside line there, just staying around the outside as the curve tightens, is really smart. It gives you a lot of options, you know? If a car is in your lane, you can swerve to the inside. If there's a deer running across the road, you have less lean angle to brake, and you have more visibility to see it sooner. And really, you know that since you're not crossing the center of the road, the blind corner, your chances of hitting gravel are much slimmer. So that's, to me, an example of a very solid line. Here's a little bit of another really good section of Clifton. Just a couple nice corners. Not much you can do. There's just a couple nice corners around here every so often. That's kind of how Clifton works. Now this I'm a little less impressed with. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was a little swoopy. You know what I mean? You're getting your direction locked in the middle of the straight, and you're kind of going all over the road. Is it bad? No, but it gives you a little bit less options because you're turning the motorcycle more than you have to. So sometimes it's better to compromise one of your corners, and instead of, you know, going all over the track, LOL, all over the road, to take that inside line, outside line, you know, it's better to stick to one side of the road and compromise that middle corner so that you can exit wide on the exit nicely and you're not all over the place. And that's more of a road strategy than anything else. On the track, you know, compromising a corner is usually not a great idea unless it's a series of very tight corners. But as you can see, the lines like there, where it's a nice simple corner all by itself, are very smooth, very good. Now the video, one thing I can't comment on, which is really a shame because the video is so dang choppy on my system right now. I guess it can't handle, I guess my hard drive can't handle 4K video, or I guess it's 1440p 60 FPS video. It's basically the highest you can get. So do note that this is high resolution, high frame rate video. So that makes it look slower than it is. You know? Now we're on the Hampton Road, my favorite road. This is like everyone's favorite road in Clifton. This is one of his later runs. He had done a few passes on this road throughout the day. I'm not really sure why he stuck to this one, but hey, I mean, again, you do what you want to do, you know. It's your. That's the beauty of motorcycling, is that we have free use of these public roads as long as, you know, we obey the rules to a certain extent. So if you want to ride down a road 4 or 5 times, then so be it, you know. Especially because you can get a little more confidence, as you can see here. Here's a turn where you can really analyze swooping. You want to come out, and now you want to hit the inside and stay inside. And then come, yep, over there, and then, yeah. But see, it's tough. That's so tough. I barely get that right myself. You kind of want to avoid, again, swooping from one side of the road to the other. And rather try to draw a straight line through the road as much as you can. This is another case here. See, like, you want to stay left, and see, at that point, see, he had come out a little too early and gone a little wide for the corner. But still, not bad. I don't think that's bad. I'm just critiquing what I see, you know, little nitpicks, you know. But see, it's his style. This is like his style. Like, I can tell, like, the way he's riding here. So that's not necessarily a terrible thing, especially on the road. You know, you don't have to be perfect all the time when you ride. That's another beauty of motorcycling, you know. What do you want to accomplish on your motorcycle? Do you want to be Valentino Rossi's next challenger? Then you can get your butt on a racetrack when you're 5 years old and try to be that guy. Or girl, hopefully, one day. Do you want to be, you know, just a nice, chill road rider? Well, then learning the skills to go fast is important. Because if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're going too fast, you at the very least have the tools in your tool bag. Oh, I love that bump. You at the very least have the tools in your tool bag to deal with most situations. I think we all know, you know, the statistics by now, but the main thing to take away, at least from me, is that most motorcycle deaths are caused by us, motorcyclists. We cause our own problems. with single vehicle or motorcycle at fault multi-vehicle collisions. And a lot of these are due to what the police would refer to as excessive speed or lack of control of the motorcycle. You're either going too fast for your grip, levels of grip. Some people do this, and there are riders out there who go faster than the tires can handle, and they crash because of that, and they die. And it's a tragedy. This is a turn that gets a lot of people there. I don't really know why. It's a little deceptive. If you go into it too fast, you're going to have a bad day, because if you even target fixate for a second, you're gone. People get scared and they make mistakes on the bike. Survival reactions kick in and you go down and you don't survive. And of course, the big thing is that's a lack of control. The motorcycle could have made the turn. You weren't really going that fast. Yes, you were going faster than you should by a lot, but you weren't really going that fast. So you made a mistake, or you ran in too hot to the turn for what you were prepared for, and now you're panicked. You either slam on the brakes too hard, or flick the bike over too hard, or worst of all, you just run straight off the road. And, you know, one of these things happened and you crash. Fortunately, my friend's a pretty good motorcyclist at this point, and because you don't want to crash on these roads. I don't know if you've seen this. There are trees, you know, mere inches from the road sometimes. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe they're 1.5 feet, 2 feet away when they get close. But look at that. That's like a 2 foot. That's like a 2 foot gap between that closest tree there. You just don't want to go off. It's just not a good idea. So riding like this, you know, within your skill level, but while at the same time practicing your technique, trying to make your line smooth, trying to make your trail braking smooth, trying to make your throttle control smooth. Always go for smoothness and precision, especially when you're riding slower than your limits. Like if you're riding like this guy here who's riding at like 40% of his limit probably, your main focus should be on being as perfect as you can possibly be, because that translates into muscle memory. It's positive practice. It creates positive muscle memory that allows you to ride the motorcycle better when you go fast. So that's really good stuff. And again, I really commend this guy. This was a pretty eye-opening video for me. I've never really seen him ride on his own before. He's always following me and doing what I do when I'm around him. He never leads. At this point, I think I'm going to have to make a request of him now. I want him to lead. Not every time, but I want to lead behind him and see what he does. And see how he handles it. That would be a smart thing to do. Another skill, another tool in your toolbox, being able to lead a group. Go at your own pace. Don't worry about me. And just, you know, do what you would do normally. Ride the way you would ride if there was no one around, because I think it'd be perfect. At least for this guy. Why are we coming up here? Did I make a mistake in my editing and let this go too far? Well, y'all are going to have to deal with it, because that was just a little boring. Now, I'm going to close this video out. I want to thank y'all for listening for my, you know, what is this? 18 minutes and 49 second rant. This is just a little bit of Northern Virginia right here. This is 95 North on a Sunday. On a Sunday, not even a weekday. And, like, it's just ridiculous. Look how bad this is. We were all supposed to meet for lunch, you know, at a certain time, and he was about 20 minutes late. And, well, I guess I can see why now. Because he was like, oh, I'm just a few minutes down the road. Well, when this happens, and you're only going 5 miles an hour or 25 miles an hour, a few miles down the road can take you an hour instead of 30 minutes, you know what I mean? So that's all there is to this video, guys. Now we're arriving at the shopping center, and you're actually going to see Mr. Sterling Moto. I showed this because this is actually a pretty cool little turn here. You really got to, you know, to keep the bike on your side of the road. But still, that's a little swoopy, I think. I think you can cut it a little closer. But still, man, good riding. Thank you for letting me make this video for you. I hope it wasn't too offensive. And for everyone watching this, think about your riding.